last session, which was led by Blessing. And the presenter for the last session was Muhibu. Took us on how to perform the major edit on Wikipedia, how to create a new article from the scratch. And this, he elaborated on how to create a new article, adding a new section on existing article. Also, he introduced on how you can add a new section to existing article, introducing head and subheading, modifying the existing article. But also, as a new editor, there's things to consider before editing, such as a neutral point of view, verifiable sources. Before editing anything, you need to have a verifiable source. Also, notability of the subjects. Not everything needs to be on Wikipedia or Wikidata or anything. It has to be notable. But also, we had time to translate the article from English to either local language, such as Kiswahili. As myself from Tanzania, we speak Swahili. So you can translate the article from English to Swahili or any other local language, such as Yoruba and many other local language. And also, that's all from our last session, which was led by Blessing, and the presentation was led by Muhib. So today's session is all about how to edit on Wikidata and perform major and minor edits. And before that, we have our partner spotlight from Maestro Solution, who is Salma, as a founder for Maestro Solution. So before taking to Salma, I'll give you the short intro. Who is Salma from Maestro Solution and what she has been done so far. Give 1 minute. Salma, as a founder for Maestro Africa Solution, she is a Tanzania economist, business strategist, and investment consultant who focus on business dynamics and numerical analysis. She's a founder for Maestro Africa Solution, aiming to empower micro, small, and medium enterprises through technology. She's also a founder for Envirosasa as a platform for environmental sustainability. So this is the short bio for Salma as a founder for Maestro Africa Solution. So I'll pass the mic over to Salma to give us the highlight on what she has been done so far. So welcome, Salma.
Okay, good evening, everybody. From our end, it's evening. I don't know. I understand like with different timelines, but I hope you all are fine and you're doing great wherever you are. And it's an honor to be here. Thank you so much, Pelagia, for the opportunity to speak in this platform. To me, it's not a small thing, and because what you guys are campaigning on, what you guys are pushing on, is one of our biggest focus, is one of our priority angle, I would say. And aligning with this year's women agenda, invest in women and accelerate progress, we feel at home because even in the back end of our organizations, women are given top priority. We even are looking at launching a platform with UN Women, maybe perhaps in August, that prioritize women and people who contribute in a day-to-day progress for women. So as you have just mentioned, my name is Salma Ali. I am a managing director for Maestro Africa Limited, a tech company that believes 90% of the challenges that MSMEs face can be solved by technology. 10, we leave them for other reasons, but we believe based on the technological transformation so far, then 90% of the challenges can be solved by technology. And within our organization, we also are championing environmental. We call it climate economy. I know you or so many people now understand all the carbon footprint, carbon emission, and the related. And we are on top of the net zero game. And with that one, we are hosting a very big national climate economy event very soon that aims at helping people to attain their net zero goals. People, I mean organizations and the private sector. Now, just jumping in straight to what my email was, what the description of what I was supposed to share is how, from our end, how are we doing when it comes to uh, discuss. We were supposed to discuss how our activities and initiatives undertake to ensure gender equality and empowerment of women. Number one, our organization, I've just mentioned, we have designed a system that we believe you and women and the rest of the giants of like on the women agenda are going to be interested in. We already are pitching it, and we already are on ground for it with cases, with references, with real-time case studies. And that platform is a tech platform that aims at pushing real time and real support for women. But nevertheless, we have an academy, because Maestro has a category called Maestro Learn. And Maestro Learn, so far, people who have been learning through our academy, I would say 90% they are women. So we intentionally intend to push our causes and our empowerment sessions to women. We have trained a lot of ladies who are now getting into the food industry, giving them highlights, giving them ideas, giving them heads up of who they should talk to, where they should go, giving them the whole roadmap when it comes to food industry. But as well, we have a program called Digital Gigs, and our program was 80% dominated with women for some reasons, because our biggest audience is women. I think that's why we even met with the larger. We have a platform that we are using to communicate our activities, and most of them are women. So we are women-centered, not by default, but by priority. We are women-centered. And we also are looking at running a project with the government to accelerate women to tenders, and for them to access both international tenders and to understand the whole tender process. And the project is aiming at improving local content and access to economic activities, in brackets tenders I've just mentioned, with the National Economic Empowerment Council and the rest of partners. So just to ask, unless if you guys have questions or specific questions, but our initiatives, from the digital gigs, from the trainings, from the from our job seeking platform. Our job seeking platform has more than 5,000 job seekers and people who are day to day posting the job adverts and receiving job adverts. More than 5,000, I would say. And if you count statistically, if you count statistically, most of our users are women. I would say it might be even 60 to 100. This is very different to other job platforms. You definitely find it's more like male dominated. But for our end, because our primary audience of communication is based on women, then everything that we are doing, women become the first beneficiaries. But in the line of that, we also have partners. We have women in mining as our partners, and we are organizing a project called Girls in Mining on 30th of May. This aims at reshaping and opening eyes for the young girls to see opportunities in the mining industry, rather than just getting a certificate and waiting for the giant companies to employ you. We are opening up a world for them to see the dimensions of opportunities in the mining industry. And that particular event is going to be, the guest of honor is going to be the Minister for Energy, the Minister for the mining sector, Anthony Mavunde. He is going to be the guest of honor, and we're expecting to have the deputy minister for mining as well from South Africa, who are going to be the guest of the guest of honor assistant. I would say, I don't know the correct word for that one, but they're going to be together in that particular event, and it is a flagship event because it's a beginning of a very big platform, because we're looking at exposing these girls to international opportunities, to other women in mining or associations out of Tanzania, the ones that we have access to. Now, maybe over to you guys, if you have specific questions. I've just tried to round off and to pinpoint some of the projects that we are doing in the women-centered. There's quite a lot along women, as I've just mentioned, that our primary focus is women, but there's quite a lot that we are doing in the angle of women and making sure we are balancing the
Sorry, Salman, we lost you at some point. I don't know if it's your net.
really? Hello?
Yes, Salma. We
Okay.
lost you.
Where where should I start? What was the last point that you had?
Hello. Yes, Salma, you said like you were passing over the mic to us. I think you had something else to speak before that.
Oh, yeah. I just added that we are doing a project with our partner organization called Women in Mining, and this particular project is aiming at unveiling the opportunities in the mining industry for for mining students, female to be precise. That's why it's called Women, Girls in Mining Project. And what we're going to do is we are going to unmask the hidden opportunities in the mining industry, because some of the students or people who get into the mining school or the mining colleges, they're looking at being employed at Barrick and other giant companies. But what we are doing with the Girls in Mining program is trying to elevate and try to open their eyes towards other opportunities, especially trading opportunities in the mining industry in the age that we are right now, that industrial minerals are on top priorities. So we're trying to show them the other side of the coin, and for them to take advantage, and as well using our network, because Girls in Mining or Women in Mining Tanzania is an association for women who are in mining industry, and there are other women in mining associations across the world, and we are using that opportunity to push the agenda and to take advantage, so as we push our girls from Tanzania to other countries, so as they get exposure, they learn, and they get to see the world in another what we call in a different color, if that's a correct word. So in a nutshell, our most of our initiatives, as I've just mentioned, that we even have a job seeker and recruitment platform that has more than 5,000 users. And these users, if we go statistically, you discover that we have a lot of women compared to men, because our communications and our point of communication where we met the larger is a female dominated crowd audience, I would say. So if you have a specific question that you would want me to address, I'm more than open to give you guys responses accordingly. I've just tried to highlight what we are doing, but if you have specific questions, we'll be more than happy to respond.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Salma. Thank you for your a brief explanation of what you are doing as a founder for MySO Solution. I think everyone was able to hear like what she has been doing, especially on business. She has an academy for business setup, marketing strategies, financial analysis, to cover different courses on how you can start your business, financial analysis, management, equipping learners, so many things. So before anything, I would also like to ask anyone who had a question, comment, or anything to Salma before taking you to the next step. Welcome. You can just unmute yourself and speak or write it on a chat.
Thank you, Selma. So mine, it's not really a question, but like a request. For people who might want to connect with you and maybe have other, identify other areas of collaboration with your organization, do you have maybe a contact email address or something that they can reach you on? And maybe you can drop it in the chat.
Yeah, sure. Like, I'm putting down I think one of you guys have my contacts, but I will just drop them here as well. We have Sama Maestro. We are also into carbon credit, as I've just mentioned that our Imbarosasa arm is focused on climate economy. So we are also so much intense on carbon credit projects. So anybody who wants to collaborate, if you want anything to do with the carbon market, we will be more on project partnerships. We will be more than happy to work with you.
Thank you so much, Salma. And I think we really don't have a question so far. So if you share with us the contact in case anyone has anything, either partnership or whatsoever, he or she can contact you. So once Salma is done, I think I'll pass the mic over
I think
to
I'm
Bara.
through.
Yes, we can see it, Salma. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'll pass the mic over to Barakat with our
Okay. Thank you, Peggy. And thank you, Salma, for introducing us to what you do at Maestro Africa. So thank you very much. And now, without wasting much of our time, I would like to, before our presentation starts for today, Brother James will be taking us will be taking us on Wikidata and how to perform minor and major edits on Wikidata. But before her presentation, I would like us to have a brief icebreaker session where we just ask and we get to communicate and discuss briefly on some things. I have some questions already, so we can be refreshed and prepare ahead of the training session that is to come. So my first question is that I would like to ask, who is an African woman role model or pioneer that motivates you and why? And I am asking this question, it is an open question, so you can unmute your mic to answer, or just use the chat box if you are not comfortable speaking. So yes, who is an African woman role model or pioneer that motivates you and why? Okay. Okay. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can. Loud and
Okay. So does anyone want to speak?
Yes, we can hear you.
To answer? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Does anyone want to unmute their mics to speak or just drop their answers in the chat box? The floor is open for anyone who wants to. Okay, someone's hand is raised. Okay, Seraphine, you can unmute your mic. You can speak. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Seraphine, and one of the African women who motivates me because I can see that even in the face of obstacles and barriers, she seems difficult sometimes, but then it does. Thank you.
That would it. Okay.
Sorry, is it just me or I didn't really get what Seraphine said? Because you came in a bit choppy. I don't know if you can maybe drop your response in the chats so that others can also learn from it. Because I didn't really get that.
Okay, please can I repeat myself?
Yeah, sure, you can.
And please, am I sounding clearer now?
Yeah, very clear.
Okay, so I said one of the African women who motivates me a lot is Anita Eskin. She's a communication specialist and she's been seen on a lot of stages moderating events and discussions about key topics in Africa and beyond. The reason why she motivates me is because she seems to be taking it very easily. However, she openly says and declares how tough it is sometimes, but then she sees her challenges as a way of building herself and becoming a better version of herself rather than allowing her obstacles to draw her back. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Seraphine. Yes. I believe we could hear you loud and clear now, and that's very beautiful. That's very nice. So, is there anyone who wants to share their role model or an African woman who has at some point inspired them and why? Um, by now, I even thought I would have gotten some responses in the chats.
Yeah, maybe because we're all thinking about our mom.
Oh,
So
yes.
that's why you're not getting response.
Okay, okay. So we still have 2 minutes before the end of the icebreaker. So I'm still waiting for responses. And yes, Seraphine, can you share a Wikipedia link to our article on Wikipedia so we can all learn more about her?
Okay, I will look for that. I don't know if she has a page on Wikipedia, but I'll find out.
Okay, we can find out. Let me quickly
Yes,
search.
thank you.
Hi. Hey God, I don't know. This phone hang. Okay. So she has a Wikipedia article, and I have shared the link to her article in the chat. So we can all go through the article. We've done the Wikipedia training last week. We started last 2 weeks. So we've covered Wikipedia training. So we can go through our article and see if there's anything we can improve and work on. So thank you once again, Seraphine. And yeah, perhaps at the end of the training session, others would have had their responses and all of that. So, but until then, I would like to invite the trainer for today in person of Rhoda James, a top contributor from Nigeria. She is a graphics designer and also a Wikimedia volunteer from Nigeria. And yes, she introduced herself more. And I'll be passing the virtual mic over to her now. She'll be taking us on how to contribute, on how to perform major and minor edits on Wikidata, by the way. So let's give her a round of virtual applause to welcome her.
Good evening, everyone. I hope we've been having a good day, and I hope we're preparing for the weekend that is approaching. So yeah, my name is Rhoda James. I will be taking us on Wikidata today. So, I'll just go ahead and share my screen and present my slide. I hope you can all hear me well. Yes. Okay. So in the course of the training, if you do have any questions, please do well to add that and drop them down in the chat box. I'll be monitoring the chat box and during the course of the training. So if you do have any question or if I'm moving too fast, you can just let me know in the chat box. So okay, I'll share my screen now. Okay, can you all see my screen? All right. So we'll be talking about Wikidata today. We're discussing we're discussing Wikidata, the misconceptions, the principles, how you need to edit Wikidata, what you need to prepare when you're editing Wikidata, and the tools you need when you are editing Wikidata. So without wasting time, I'll just go straight into my slide. Okay. Okay, so we're going over the overview of Wikidata. What is Wikidata? Its principles and misconception. So this is the interface of Wikidata. Wikidata is a free and open knowledge base that can be read and edited by both humans and machines. So Wikidata should not be mistaken for Wikipedia. They are very different, and they perform different roles, and they perform different tasks. As we all know, Wikipedia was discussed last week. Wikipedia is used for articles. It has written articles about different kind of topics, both humans, places, things, and so on and so forth. So same way, Wikidata also have information about human beings, places, things, topics, but Wikidata appears very differently from Wikidata. So Wikidata is a free and open knowledge base. As I said before, it can be edited by both human beings and machines. It also acts as a central storage for structured data. for its Wikimedia sister projects, such as Wikipedia, Wikivoyage, Wiktionary, and the likes. So what this means is that Wikidata acts as a storage for data. It helps other wikis, such as Wikipedia, which is for articles, Wikivoyage, which is for keeping records of places and sites, historical sites, etc. Wiktionary, which keeps tracks of words, such as like your dictionary and the others. So Wikidata acts as a central storage for data. It assists all these projects. So Wikidata does not only assist Wikimedia projects, it also assists other websites and other tools that people make use of. As we all know, data is very important also these days, and there are lots of websites and lots of tools that make use of data. So we can see how important, how valuable Wikidata is to us. So Wikidata also provides support to many other sites and services beyond just Wikimedia projects. And as we all know, the data that can be found on Wikidata are free and are under free licenses. Same way as Wikipedia, same way as Wikicommons, that every information you find on them are free for all to use. So we'll be skipping the preferences. I'll be leaving that for when we are editing or when we are doing the practical session. So I'll be skipping through this. Okay, so I'll just be talking about the basics of Wikidata. So Wikidata stores information in structured format, which means data is organized in entities and properties. So if you can look at the images or the image on my screen here, you can see here it says P31. I don't know if it is clear enough, but we're going to be seeing all of this during the practical session. As you can see, the data attached to this image or this painting, it is structured in a way that it is easier for people who are looking at this information to decode. As you can see, P13 instance of, then watercolor painting has its own qualifier number. So all this data has been structured in a way that makes it easier for people to understand it and process it, and not just for human beings, for machines as well. So you can find entities like people, places, concepts, topics, journals on Wikidata. So you can find those kind of information on Wikidata. So next we have statements. Statements are basic units of information in Wikidata. A statement contains an item, a property, a value. So I'm just going to describe what an item is. An item consists of all the information. For example, if we have a file, all the information found on it is called an item. So that an item consists of a lot of information, such as property value, qualifiers, etc. So that's what an item is. And a statement is also found under an item. Inside an item, that's where you're going to see statements, properties, and values. And if you can see this image here, under statements, we have information about Douglas Adam. So this is an example of what a statement looks like. We'll be going deeper into this when we're at the practical session. So next we have items and properties. So I'm going to describe items and properties as questions and answer. Same way you act when you're having a conversation with a person, maybe you just met a person for the first time and you ask them of their name, where they work, their occupation, their hobbies, their age, where they were educated, all those kind of things, their nationality. So that's what an item is. That's what a property is, sorry. So a property is I'm going to describe it as a question. When you're editing on Wikidata, Wikidata provides you with properties, and then you're going to provide values to those properties. So it's just like saying a property is a question. If I ask you, what is your name? That is a property. And you answer me, my name is Rhoda James. That is a value, which is the answer to the question I just asked. So that's what a property is. It's just like a question that Wikidata asks you. So you can provide a value to it, which is the answer. So property, the definition, like just an elaborated way of saying it is a property, a property defines the characteristics of an item. For example, if an item represents a person, the property can include things like name, date of birth, occupation, and nationality. So that's what a property is. It just helps you better describe what that person is or what that item you are creating is. That's what a property does. It allows you to better describe an item and better give more information about that item. So we also have identifiers and references. Wikidata uses unique identifier like Q42. If you're going through a Wikidata item, you're going to see numbers on Wikidata. You're going to see a lot of numbers on Wikidata. So that's called an identifier. So each item on Wikidata has an identifier, a unique identifier that is attached to it. And no item on Wikidata can share one identifier. They are all different. Any item that has been created on Wikidata all have unique identifiers attached to it. So when you are creating the Wikidata item, and for example, that item has maybe an item has the same name or on Wikidata. For example, if you are creating an item on London, London can mean different type of things. London can be a place, London can be a person, London can be a state. In fact, London can be someone's name. So how do you now differentiate between the London that is someone's name and the London that is that is a place? So this is where unique identifier comes in on Wikidata. So the London that is a place has its own unique identifier that cannot be confused with the London that is someone's name. And those identifiers are very different and you can't confuse them with each other. So that's what makes every item on Wikidata unique in its own way. They all have unique identifiers that are attached to them. So next we have references. When you are creating an article on Wikipedia, references are very, very much important to add. They are very emphasized on Wikipedia. You cannot have a Wikipedia article without adding references. So, but on Wikidata, it's a little bit different. It is not compulsory that you do add references to your Wikidata item, although it is good that you add them. There's some information that you put on Wikidata that you have to provide references for them. For example, the person's where the person was educated. And for example, these are all like there's information that's sensitive that you need to provide backing up or sources for. So you can't just put them on Wikidata. You need to provide references, although it's not all statements on Wikidata that you need to provide references for. It is not compulsory that you add a reference to all the statements you add on Wikidata, but there are some statements that you add to Wikidata that you have to provide references for. So we're moving on. So Wikidata is also multilingual. That means Wikidata has a lot of languages that you can create items on. You can create items on in Wikidata in English language. You can also create items in Yoruba language. You can create items in French. You can create items in Swahili, in various languages. You can create different types of, you can create items in various languages on Wikidata. So it allows information to be stored in multiple languages. So each item on Wikidata have labels, description, aliases in various languages just to facilitate accessibility. Not everybody is able to speak English, and not everybody is able to speak French. Not everybody is able to speak Chinese. Not everybody. There are lots of languages that a lot of people cannot speak. So Wikidata is allows the humans and the bots that create items to be able to translate it in languages that will make it easier. If I do not understand if I do not understand English, I will be able to read in Yoruba. If I do not understand Yoruba, I might be able to read in Igbo or Hausa or French or German. Various languages exist on Wikidata that you can create items in, or you can create you can add description to on Wikidata. So it allows multiple languages. So it also integrates Wikimedia projects. So Wikipedia articles can be linked to Wikidata. It can be linked to Wikicommons, Wikivoyage, Wikisource, Wikibooks, various other wikis. So they all work hand in hand to ensure that the knowledge or the information on Wiki is centralized, so that you can access information on Wikipedia, on Wikidata. You can access information on Wikicommons or Wikidata. You can access information on Wiktionary on Wikidata also. So it integrates all other Wikimedia projects. So to make it easier for the sister projects to work hand in hand to provide the information for its users. And we also have the query service. The query service is a very powerful tool. It allows users to query the data and retrieve specific information on Wikidata. So Wikidata can provide you with information about all the female journalists in Nigeria, all the female journalists in Tanzania, all the female journalists in Ghana. Wikidata can help provide that information to you. And it's not only limited to Africa. You can look for all the female journalists in any part of the world. If you need that data, Wikidata can provide it for you. It can provide you with information about all the women that were born in May 25th, for example. Wikidata can provide you with that information. As long as that information is on Wikidata, the query service can provide you with that data. It can retrieve it and provide it to you. So this is what the Wikidata query service does, and it is a very, very good tool when looking for data or looking for information. So we'll be going into that when we are working on our practical section. So next, we'll be discussing the principles and facts of Wikidata. It is collaborative and community-driven. A lot of people can edit Wikidata at the same time. Not necessarily the same time, but a lot of people can edit a Wikidata item. Like people from various parts of the world can contribute to one Wikidata item just to ensure that it has all the information that it needs to disseminate important and useful information to its users. So it is collaborative and community driven. It is neutral. In fact, I would say Wikidata is very, very, very neutral, because you cannot put in information that Wikidata does not allow you to put in. And it is very, very straight to the point. Unlike Wikipedia, where you have to write sentences, you have to write a lot of words. The article has to have many sections. Wikidata is very straight to the point. It just needs the property and the value and the statements. That's just all what Wikidata needs. And verifiability and citation, as I said before, although citations are not necessitated for all Wikidata entries, but there are some information you put on Wikidata that need to be cited. You can't do without citing them. They need to be referenced. You need to tell Wikidata where you got that information from. That's adding a citation to it. So information on Wikidata should be verifiable, so you don't mislead people who are coming to Wikidata to get information. And the data is reusable. Wikidata is structured and can be easily reused for other projects and applications. As I said, Wikidata provides data for not only Wikimedia projects, it also provides data for all other sources, all other sites, all other tools. So these are some of the facts and principles of Wikidata. So let's go to the misconception of Wikidata. What Wikidata is not. So these are some of the misconceptions of Wikidata, and these are some of the misconceptions that I have encountered a lot. That's why they are on this slide. So a lot of people mistake Wikidata for Wikipedia. So this is a mistake that a lot of people make. And Wikidata is very, very, very different from Wikipedia. It is very different. While they are all under the same umbrella, which is Wikimedia projects, they all serve different purposes. As I said, Wikipedia is an online encyclopedia. It contains articles that have been written by human beings. Whereas Wikidata is a structured data repository. It contains data that's been put in by human beings, by machines. We'll be talking about some of those machines that can impute Wikidata, impute entries on Wikidata. So they are very different from each other. They are not the same. And the sites for these projects are also very, very different. So that's one misconception that I've seen about Wikidata. Wikidata is very different from Wikipedia. So another thing that people mistake is that Wikidata is only used for certain type of data. No, I also made this mistake when I was first editing on Wikidata. I used to believe maybe Wikidata is restricted to only people, organization, geography, places, and things. But you can also write about journals. You can also have Wikidata items of journals of different types of things that you can create Wikidata items for. So Wikidata is not only restricted to people, places, organizations, arts, and schools, and all this kind of data. Wikidata has the ability to have items about a wide range of topics. So it's not only limited to people, organization, and places. So another thing is Wikidata is only for Wikimedia projects. No, Wikidata is used just like Wikipedia. So if you go through Wikipedia, you will notice that other people look for information on Wikipedia that they make use of in other places. So same way, Wikidata can be used in other places also, in other sites, in other tools. For example, the Wikidata query service, it can be used to look for information. So a lot of it can use this information for research and other items, other projects that are useful to them also. So many external projects and organizations make use of Wikidata. Okay, so another misconception is that Wikidata is a finished project. This is not true. Wikidata is constantly evolving. Just the same way Wikipedia is also constantly evolving, just the same way Wikicommons is also constantly evolving. So new data is added to Wikidata every day, every time. So Wikidata is added, new data is added to Wikidata at every given time, every second, new data is being added to Wikidata to improve it and to make it more developed. So it is not a static project, it is constantly developing and it is constantly growing. So these are some of the misconceptions about Wikidata. Another misconception is that Wikidata is unreliable. It is true that people can vandalize Wikidata. People can make mistakes. As a matter of fact, people can make mistakes. We are only human. So we're only human and people can make mistakes. So there are some data that have been added wrongly on Wikidata, but it does not mean the many other data that have been added to Wikidata are not reliable. There are lots of information on Wikidata that are very reliable and have citations, they have references to back them up. Another thing about Wikidata, another misconception is that Wikidata compromises privacy. So when you are creating a Wikidata item, you have to make sure that whatever you're adding to your item is things that you can find in the public space. For example, on Google, that are reliable. So you don't ask people, for example, if you are creating an item about a person, and let's say the person is right in front of you. A person is right in front of you. You do not ask the person questions about their privacy. For example, their date of birth or how many children they have, their spouse. For example, all these are information the person might want to keep private and they don't want it to be in the public space. So you don't ask them those questions when you are creating a Wikidata item. So you make use of things, of information, of data that they put on the public space. That if they have put those data on the public space, it means that people are allowed to make use of those of that data. So you need to be careful when you are creating a Wikidata item. So Wikidata does not compromise privacy. Wikidata makes use of information that have been publicly disposed on the internet. So those are the kind of information that you make use of when you are creating a Wikidata item. So I'm going to go to Wikidata now. I'm going to go into Wikidata so we can see how Wikidata and what Wikidata looks like. So this is the interface for Wikidata. This is the interface for Wikidata. This is how it looks like. So you can just type in wikidata.org and take you directly to Wikidata. It's going to take you to the interface for Wikidata. I'm also dropping the link in the chat. So this is what Wikidata looks like. And when you are looking to edit Wikidata, you have to make sure that you are logged in before you begin to edit on Wikidata. As you can see, my username is appearing up above here. That means I am already logged in. So I'm going to be telling you about some of the preferences you need to set on your Wikidata quickly. I'm going to go through that quickly so we can go into editing Wikidata. So this is your preferences here. If you're making use of your phone, it might appear a little bit differently. That's because I'm making use of my laptop. But if that happens, just scroll to the bottom of your screen and click on desktop. And that is going to, then your screen will appear the way mine is appearing. So then you click on your preferences. So your preferences is just like your setting. It allows you to edit Wikidata better. So what I need you to do is go to Gadgets. Under Gadgets, I need you to activate the Recon tool. Just scroll down. You're going to see this Recon. Relative Completeness Indicator. It enables you to know how complete a Wikidata item is. For example, if you look at this, I've already activated the Recon tool on my Wikidata preference. So it provides me with information that I'm missing on a Wikidata item and information that I need to add to a Wikidata item. So this is what the Recon tool does. It gives you suggestions of items you can add to your Wikidata, to a Wikidata item you are creating to make it easier for you. Instead of you to start guessing, oh, what do I need to add more to this item? Wikidata, this Recon tool is going to give you, it's going to provide you with suggestions of things that you need to add. And you can see here, it shows you how complete the item is. If your item is not very complete, it's going to be in red. If you improve it a little more, it's going to move to orange. And if it is if it is a well-created item, it should be in green. So let's go to Wikidata. Yeah. So I need you to activate the Recon tool. So you just need to click on it. Once you click check the Recon tool, and then you click on save. So that's what you need to do so that the Recon tool can be activated on your Wikidata, account. Okay, so if you've done that, then you can just start editing. So the item we'll be working with for today, the item I want to create is about Ifeoluwa Dare Johnson. So this person is a founder, a tech founder for Health Tracker. So we're going to be creating an item about her. I've already created a document containing information about her, vital information like her education, her occupation, the places that she has worked at, and the dates also. So I've already compiled those lists to make it easier for me as I'm creating this Wikidata item. So these are some of the first. So firstly, I'll be going through the basic way to create a Wikidata item, and then I'll be taking you through some of the tools that you can use to make your Wikidata item, to create Wikidata item in bulk. So, okay, so the basic way to create a Wikidata item is to just go to Wikidata. So you can go to the main page. Let's go back to the main page. So this is the main page for Wikidata. I hope I'm not moving too fast. Okay, so I've seen some questions in the chat box, and I'll be addressing them during the course of creating the Wikidata item. So if you want to start a Wikidata item, you can either click on create a new item, or make use of the search box and search for the name of the item you want to create. This is very important. You need to search for an item that you want to create to make sure that that item is not existing on Wikidata before. Because if you create an item that is already existing, it's just like a duplicate of efforts. It does not provide more information to Wikidata because that item is already existing. So when you are creating an item on Wikidata, you need to make sure that the item you are creating does not exist before. So that's why I'm searching, just to confirm, just to make sure that I am not creating a duplicate. Okay, so now that I've confirmed that this item is not already existing, I'm going to click on create a new item. So it has taken me to this box. Please do well to read this information above. Make sure you are in compliance with the notability policy and that the item you are creating does not already exist before. So if you want to create an item about a living person, be mindful of their privacy. Do not make use of information that they've not already put on the internet, or they've not put online, or is not public. Do not add those information to Wikidata item. And another thing, if the first letter of your label should be capitalized, if it is a proper noun. So make sure the first letter of your label be capitalized. So now we have under here, we have language, we have label. Label just means the name of the item you are creating, and the Wikidata item you are creating. As you can see, we are creating an item about Ifeoluwa Derry Johnson. So the label will be a name. If you are creating an item about Kilimanjaro, the label will be Kilimanjaro. If you are creating an item about poverty in Africa, the name of the item will be poverty in Africa. So description, you need to describe the person you are creating an item for. So just to make it clearer, just to make it clearer, you can search on Google for more information when you are creating an item on Wikidata. So she is a marketing lecturer and consulting insights. Okay, she's also a tech founder, and she has worked at many places. So we can just search about her. Just to see the things that she has done, or to know more about her. Okay, let's go back to our Wikidata item. Okay. So So to describe her, you can just say a Nigerian if she's a lecturer, if she's a doctor, you can say a Nigerian medical doctor. Just a brief sentence to describe her and what she has done. So next we have aliases. So aliases is a nickname, or if the person has another name that they bear, or another name that they are popularly called. For example, we all know that performers such as actors, musicians, they all have stage names. They all have other names that they're called. For example, Davido in Nigeria, I believe his real name is not Davido. I believe his real name is David Adeleke. So his stage name is Davido. So if we're creating an item for Davido, the label will contain his name, and his aliases will contain his nickname, that's his stage name, the name he's popularly known as. But I did not find any nickname for this particular person, so I will be leaving it blank because it's not compulsory. You need to add the nickname. And if you want to create the item, if you want to add the item in different languages, as you can see, there are a lot of languages here that you can create an item with. But we're going to be sticking with English. So I'm just going to click on create. So this is how you start creating a Wikidata item. And this is how the item looks like. As you can see here, we have statements that will contain our properties and value. But so this is how you create a Wikidata item from scratch. But you just don't leave the Wikidata empty just like this. You need to add more information. For example, if I want to add more information, I can just click on add statement. So the first thing you should do is add instance of. Instance of further describes what that item is. Is this item a human being? Is it a place? Is it a person? Is it an art form? Is it a medical term? Whatever, is it an organization? So this is what instance of helps describe. So we're going to add instance of. She is a human being. As you can see, the first suggestion that Wikidata provides for you is human, a member of the Homo sapien. So this is what and we're going to be clicking on that. So whenever you're creating an item, this instance of determines the kind of suggestions that Wikidata is going to provide for you. For example, if I should add that, oh, this item I'm creating is an organization, any other statements, any other property I want to add to this item is going to be suggested to me based on the instance of. So if I put out this organization is a place, it's going to give me suggestions like coordinates, location, height, depth, country, etc. But if I impute that, oh, this item is a human being, it's going to provide example for me based on humans. It's going to provide things like date of birth, place of birth, hair color, sex and gender, country of citizenship. So the instance of determines the kind of suggestion that Wikidata is going to provide for you. So you just don't stop here. You need to add more information. So we need to add more statements. As you can see, it has sex and gender, she's female. So I'm just going to type it in here, and Wikidata is going to bring the suggestion for me. As you can see, there are lots of genders and sex here. So you can choose whichever is applicable to the item you're creating. Oh, sorry, she's female, not male. And then click on publish anytime you add a statement to an item. So we can proceed to add another statement. As you can see, all these items that all these statements that I've added to this Wikidata item, it has not asked me. It has not necessitated me to add references to it. As you can see, so far I've been adding statements and I've not added any references. That's because all of this information do not necessarily need references. So let's add another statement. For example, let's add her occupation. So she's a founder. Let's see if there's a such thing. Organizational founder. Yes, she's a founder. She works at an organization. So let's click on publish. As you can see, also this did not this did not ask me to add any references. So I also want to add that you can also add that she's a CEO under this occupation. So I can just click on add value. Let's see if it exists. Chief Executive Officer. So I can also publish that. So this is what add value does. It allows you to add more information under a particular property. The property is occupation, and these are the values that I've just added to it. So if I want to add more, for example, if she's a carpenter, if she's a politician, I can keep on adding it under the statements. Statements, I can keep adding them to this property, which is occupation. I don't need to start adding more statements to master adding them. I can just keep adding them to this statements that I've just added. So, sorry, is there a question? Please let's endeavor to mute our mics.
I just did.
You said?
I just muted the participants. You
All
can.
right. Okay. So this we've added 3 statements to this information. So let's say I want to add statements in another way. So this is the basic way you can add information to Wikidata items. And you can also make use of the Recoin tool to suggest items that are needed, to suggest things that are missing from this Wikidata item. As you can see, it's missing country of citizenship, it's missing date of birth, it's missing given name. These are some of the things you need to add to it. So some of the statements that you need to add references to can be educated, where the person is educated. So she was educated at the University of Ilorin. So I can add that. And it's also said she was educated in the University of South Wales. We can also add that to our Wikidata statement. So let's add University of South Wales. Okay, so this is the university, and I can publish this. So I need to add references to this. I need to add the reference to this because where did I get my information from? I need to add reference to some of this. So okay. I did not save the, but I can just easily look for that. So let me just quickly look for the, okay, this is the reference. Yeah. So you can just copy her name, search for her. Okay, I've already done that. Oh, this is it. I want to use this as a form of reference. So what you need to do is you're going to copy the URL link of the site you're making use of for reference. You're going to go back to your Wikidata item. Now we want to add references to this. As you see, it says 0 references. So let's add a reference. You're going to click on add references. And because we are making use of a reference URL, we're going to click on reference URL. Reference URL is the link we copied from the website where we got our information from. So I'm just going to paste this information here. And then I'm going to click on publish. As you can see, one reference is already showing here, is already existing here. I already added one reference to this. So this is the basic way to create a Wikidata item. So let's look at another way we can create Wikidata items. You can also create Wikidata item using quick statements. As I said in the beginning, there are various ways which you can create Wikidata item. So you can also create Wikidata using quick statements. So Wikidata quick statement allows you to add multiple statements at a time, to add a batch of statements to an item. It allows you to add it in bulk, and it adds it simultaneously. It allows you to add multiple Wikidata items simultaneously. That's what quick statement does on Wikidata. Oh, Peggy, your hands are raised. Do you want to speak?
Yes, Rhoda. Before going so far, I just wanted to confirm, like, is it must to keep the reference for each statement, like date of birth, like wherever the statement, is it must to keep the reference?
Yes, there are some statements that it is quite compulsory for you to add references to them. Yes, for example, another statement you need to add references to is place of birth.
Oh, sorry, can you go
Need-
back to the example which we're working on?
Yeah, this is the statement.
Yeah, so how about occupation and the other one? So you can
No,
just
you don't need to. It's not necessary you add references to that. So there are some statements you add on Wikidata that you just need to add references to. For example, let me add this. This is a wrong statement. I'm just using this to cite an example. This is a wrong statement. So let me just add something. I'm adding something random. Place of birth. As you can see, there is this flag that has appeared in front of this statement that I just added. It means that there is something I need to add. I can't just add this statement just like that. I need to improve the statement. I can't leave it the way it is. So if I should click on this flag, Wikidata is now going to tell me what I need to add to improve this statement that I just added. As you can see, it says citation needed constraints. Statement for place of birth should have at least one reference. So I can't just add this statement and just leave it just like that. I need to add a reference to it. It is very, very important that I tell them where I got my information from. So these are examples of statements that you must add references to. So this is very important. It applied to these statements. You have to add references to this kind of statements. You can't just add them to Wikidata.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Peggy. So I'm going to be removing this statement because it is wrong and I do not have any reference to back up this claim that I just added to this statement, to this item. So I will be removing it. I'll just have to click on edit and remove. And that's just it. I've removed the item. So that's the examples of some of the items you need to add references to. So going back to the quick statement tool, it allows, okay, let me go back to my
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, please, I have a question. While doing
Okay.
this, I'm also following up, trying to do something also on my system, and I noticed there's this redirect green circle on the right-hand side of my statements, the ones that I've created. What's the meaning of that?
There's a green circle.
Just a little small circle in each statement that I created.
Oh, is there an exclamation mark in the circle?
No, it's like an arrow, a redirect arrow. An
I'm
arrow.
sorry, I have to see it to recognize what you're talking about. Can you put your cursor on it? Does it say anything?
No, it's not saying anything, but I clicked on it. Okay, I clicked on it. It says move claim to another entity or to the same entity or something. Move claim or copy claim, because things like that.
Okay, does the item as the item you created, does it exist before? Is it already existing?
No, I searched and it was not there. The name did not exist on Wikidata. But I created,
Okay.
I just created it.
Oh, Merit, your hands are raised. You can go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, yes, sorry, let me just quickly respond to that. So you had activated the tool maybe while you were setting your preference. So that's why you see the green redirect arrow. And when you want to make use of move claim, it means that maybe you saw another item and you think that particular statement can fit in that item. Then you can click on the move claim to another item that's that statement may qualify to be on it. So that's what the move claim does. But if you don't, maybe you did not see any item that maybe that particular statement can be useful on, then there's no need for you to move the claim. So I don't know if
Oh, I
that
understand now. I understand. What happened was that person is qualified. I found her name as well in a Google search under the most influential people of African descent, but she doesn't have a Wikidata appearance. But she has won that award, and that award is in Wikidata. So I think
okay.
that I
Yeah,
think
so
that's what
that's why
it's
so that's why you're seeing it. So it expecting you to be able to move that claim to the award. So that's
Oh,
you're seeing that. And I can share a video with you later at the end of the
okay.
call. Yeah, to provide more clarity on that for you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll be expecting. You may continue now. Thank you. Please, how did you where did you get the no, I mean you went to the quick statements. Where did you click?
Yeah, no, I opened a new tab for that, so I'm going to be sending the link to your
Okay.
to the group chat right now.
Group.
So you don't get
Okay.
there from, I'm going to send in a link to the quick chat. Okay, so that's it. If you click on it, it's going to take you directly to the quick statement tool. So, okay. So the quick statement allows you to create Wikidata item in bulk and simultaneously. So this is an example of a quick statement. This, as I said before, when I was starting this this session, I talked about unique qualifiers, and how every item on Wikidata has a unique qualifier. So all these numbers that we have here represent something. For example, this number here, this Q, oh, sorry about that. This Q1256, it represents an item. This property P31, it represents a property, and Q43229 also represents a property. So all these items represent different things on Wikidata. So if you should impute this on your quick statement, it's going to, this is what it means. So I created an item for the organization that Ifeoluwa has founded. So the name of our organization is Health Tracker, and the organization is a medical tech company that allows people to get information about their health online. It's a health platform. Health Tracker, that's the name of the organization she founded. So if I should add these qualifiers to quick statements, it's going to automatically run the statements for me and add it to the Wikidata items. So I don't need to go to Wikidata and start adding them one by one. I can just add them automatically. So let's use this as an example on Ifeoluwa. Let's say I want to add her country of citizenship using the quick statement. So I'm just going to be using one as an example. Okay, so let's go to quick statement. So this is quick statement. Okay, yeah. So this is how it looks like when you're just opening it. So if you want to now start a new batch, if you want to add a new batch if you want to start adding new batches, that's you want to start adding statements to your Wikidata item, you can just click on new batch. And from here, you can go ahead and add your statement. All right, so okay, so I want to add her country of citizenship using quick statement. So what we're going to make use of, we're going to make use of the qualifiers for all these items. This is the qualifier for Ifeoluwa Dare Johnson. So I'm going to copy a qualifier because this is the item we want to add the statement to. And to separate those, you can either use tab or you can use this symbol to demarcate them. So I want to also add her country of citizenship. What is the qualifier for country of citizenship? The unique identifier for country of citizenship here is P27. I'm going to go back to my quick statement and add P27. I'm going to add another demarcation. Now, her country of citizenship is Nigeria. what is the qualifier for Nigeria, I can just easily go to Wikidata, search for Nigeria. And this is the qualifier for the unique identifier for Nigeria as a country. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my quick statement and I'm going to paste that here. So this is just all I need to add the statement. Then after I've done all of this, I can just click on impute. I'm going to click on impute v1 command. I'm going to click on that. So it's going to load and look at what all things I've added. As you can see, I only added number, but it has provided me with the item that I've created. As you can see, Feoluwadare Johnson is appearing here. And the statements that I've added, statements, country of citizenship, and the value, which is Nigeria, is already appearing here. So let's click on run. As you can see, it has, I have added the statements. It says done, status done, 100%. So I'm going to go back to my item just to see if what I've done, if it has reflected. So let me reload this. As you can see, country of citizenship is already appearing here. So this is one of the uses for quick statements. It allows you to add Wikidata items in batch. So you can add many statements at a time. So I only added one to show you how it works, but this is defeating the purpose of quick statements because it is meant to help you do it faster. So you can add more than one. Sorry about my pause. So this is what the quick statement does. It helps you add information. It helps you add statements to Wikidata item quickly. So if you want to add more, instead of us starting it one by one, we can just use the unique identifier and add all those statements all at a time. So let's add another one. Let's add a new batch. So if there's an error in your batches, if there's an error there, the quick statement is going to let you know that, oh, there's an error in something that you've done and you should rectify it. So let me see some of the items that we can add. Okay, so I'm just going through this quickly. So you can also use the quick statement to add all other information that that you need to add to Wikidata using the unique qualifiers. So you can use quick statements to add that. You can also use the recurring tool over here, language spoken, signed, written or signed. You can add it through here. You can click on the plus sign. So she speaks English. I'm going to add English here. And you can just publish from here. So there are multiple ways with which you can edit Wikidata. So there are multiple ways. Okay. So let's just quickly add another quick statement. Let's add another quick statement to this quickly before we move on. Yeah, so I want to add the company she founded. So let me just add her qualifier like we did the first time. I could have added this all together, but I just wanted to show us how it works. So, and same symbol. So I want to add, okay. What I want to add is, I want to add a place of work. I can add employer. So I can add it through here, and I can also add it through her quick statements. Through using the quick statements, I can just look for the I can just search for employer here, look for the qualifier. Okay, so this is the qualifier for that. Just copy that, and then I'm going to paste that here. Okay, and then this is the qualifier for the health trackers. I'm just going to copy that. Just going to put that here also. And I'm going to import VI command. Okay. All right, so this is it. And I'm going to run that. Okay, there's an error here. As you can see, it's telling me that there's an error. So this is one thing that the quick statements does for you. If there's an error in the thing that you've just put together, it's going to let you know that, oh, there's an error here, and you should correct the error or it will not be added to it. So you can just go back and verify the error in your statement. Okay, or you can just go back to Wikidata and add it manually. Anyone that works for you. I'm doing this because I don't want to waste much time. So I'm just going to add it manually. Okay, so this is it. So I'm going to publish that. So I don't think I have time to go over the query service. So I'm just going to leave it at this, but this is how you create Wikidata item using multiple methods. Okay, so do we have any question so far? Do we have any question?
Yes, sorry. I think I missed the part where you used the quick statement. The beginning part, I understood the remaining part, but the beginning parts where you had to start imputing data from the quick statement, because I had to just type the address, the address you sent to this chat. I typed it on my browser on my laptop, and it brought the new interface. And then I didn't quite know where to click from there. After logging in, I didn't know what else to do. It was showing me new badge, last batches, chat, GIT, help. Then I didn't know what to click. I tried to click new batch, but it said I couldn't create a new batch.
Okay, maybe that's the old interface. Maybe that was the old
This is the new interface, V2.
Yes, yes. Yes, this is I think there was an old tool that was created before, and this is the new one. So this is how it looks like.
Yes.
This is how it looks like. I'm going to be putting that in the chat box also. Okay.
Yeah, this is the interface I can see as well.
Yeah. So what you just need to do is click on new batch. New batch is where you start imputing all the information that you need to. So for example, if you want to add, let's say you want to add
sorry, excuse me. It says I can't create a new batch because I am not auto confirmed.
Oh yes, are you a new user?
Of this quick statement?
No,
yes.
On Wikidata.
No, I'm not.
I think there
Okay.
should be a level of edits
Yes.
that you need
Yes.
to
You need to have
before
over
you
50
can.
edits before you can make
Oh,
use of the quick statement.
oh, I
Yeah.
have
Yes.
only 28 edits.
Yes. So you won't be able to make use of it.
Okay. Okay.
But
Okay.
whenever you can make use of it, it is a very fast way for you to add Wikidata items.
I
So
understand.
I'm going to be, I think I've spent my time. So I'm going to
I
be passing the mic to Bukola to carry on.
Okay, thank you so much. I just want to go over the disbursement criteria once more for those people that are just joining this campaign today. So please, would you let me share my screen within the few minutes left. I just want to show you where we are at and how you can continue to participate in this campaign. Sorry, I'm always having so many tabs. Pardon me. Yeah, so this is the page to the campaign. I can also just drop this in the chats. I'm sorry, let me just quickly get the actual link. Yeah. So yeah, for those who are just joining for the first time, I see Wiki Gender Gap events. Okay. Oh, sorry. I just did, I just went to some other space. Yeah, so if you're just joining for the first time, this is the link to the events. And if you're just joining for the first time, please, you will need to click join the campaign through the events page. So this is just to the meta page. And our criteria is very simple. And it's a criteria that offer everybody opportunity to receive incentive at the end of this campaign. And the criteria is that if you are an experienced editor, you can confirm whether or not you're an experienced editor by clicking on this link. It takes you to this page. I'll drop the link in the chats. It takes you to this page. I just dropped the link in the chats. And to confirm whether you are experienced, just input your username here. So this is my username, and I will click on submit. And immediately I submit, you will see when I joined, and you can also see that I'm auto confirm user. So that means I can use quick statements. And you can see the numbers of edits that I have across my global edits count on different wiki projects. And Wikipedia, I seem to have about 3,000 edits, right? So this indicates that I cannot fall under the new editor on our meta page. So that means for me to receive data disbursements, which will be issued at the end of this campaign, I will have to either create or translate at least one article and create or expand at least 5 items with complete 5 statements. So this is what an article that I should be writing would look like. So just opening up this. So for someone who wants to qualify for data disbursements, which will be issued to you in form of cash transfer, I should be able to create an article of this size or translate this article. And this is just one part of the criteria. The other part of the criteria is that I should be able to create a Wikidata item that has descriptions, whether images, if they are available, and about 5 complete statements. So if you look at this, we have more than 5. We have position held as one statement, occupation as another statement, language spoken as another, the child as another, place of birth and date of birth and the likes. So this is for someone who is experienced. We do not expect you to be expanding article. We either expect you to create or translate. Now, for somebody who is new means that new editor means that you don't have any existing contribution, or your contribution is not even up to 500 edits on Wikipedia, like I had showed you previously. So yeah, so that means you don't have up to 500 edits. So that makes you a new editor. You don't have up to 500 edits on any of the projects. So that makes you a new editor. Now, what do we expect from you? Is either you are translating at least one article. Now, if you don't know how to translate article, it's all right, it's good. Another option is that you are expanding at least 3 different article sections, with either adding wiki links, references, info boxes, or images. Now, let me show you an example of what this looks like. Now, this is an article that has been created in French. Now, let's say I am a new editor. I don't know how to translate, but I speak French, I write French well, and I have learned how to edit Wikipedia. Then what I want to do on this particular article is to expand. Let me zoom in so that you see. So is to expand a section of this article. So I might be improving up to this paragraph within one article. So I'm expected to expand 3 different articles with a minimum of this paragraph in each of the article. And if I'm not expanding the article, I should be able to create an info box on the Wikipedia article of 3 different articles that does not exist before. So these are what we expect from new editors. Now, another criteria, once you have been able to do this, the next thing you want to do is to create at least 4 items, 4 Wikidata items that have statements that are up to this size. So that's just what we want from everyone who wants to participate in this campaign. And for you to submit your contribution, we have created a page here. So you can go to this page. You can see that we have so many submissions already, but we still want more as this campaign is still ongoing. And we also have a form that we will share with you so that you can submit links to all the articles or items that you've worked on, and also drop your bank details so that once we've completed this campaign, you can receive your reimbursements. Now, these are suggestions of articles that we are also looking to create as part of this campaign. We want to create article about women in different African countries. And also, when we check the article that talks about International Women's Day, we discover that most African countries are not reflecting on that Wikipedia article. So if you go on the article that talks about International Women's Day, if you go to the section that talks about around the world, you will see that some African countries are missing from these lists. So what we also expect you to do is to add your own country. I can see now we have Uganda, we have Zambia, but there are so many other African countries that are not covered. Well, I can see now that we have Ghana as well. So yes, this is just something we want from you. And how much is the data in cash? Okay, yeah, so if you go on this page, you will see that the data reimbursement is between 10 to 15 USD, and which will be transferred to you in your local currency. So if you go on this page, you'll see disbursement criteria between 10 to 15 USD per contributor. So the reason why we are doing this is because we want everybody to benefit from, receive support. Yeah, so that's why we are approaching this campaign this way. Yeah, so with that, we've come to the end of today's training. Many thanks to Rhoda for taking us through Wikidata. And I don't know, Peggy, do you have any final thoughts? Yeah, I'll just stop sharing. Okay, over to you, Peggy, if you can hear me. Okay, so